What do you think you see in this painting? I was in a workshop where our assignment was to create a abstract painting as a winter scene, and this is what my painting turned out into. With the material and the techniques that we used, it is considered almost impossible to recreate this type of painting. First, let me show you what material we used. We used this Yupo paper. It's a polypropylene paper. It's very smooth and very slick. We used a piece of glass or plexiglass, and we used watercolor and ink. Now I will demonstrate to you how I did this painting during our workshop. I started out with blue watercolor paint that I added to the glass, fairly thick. The next step was to place the Yupo paper on top of the glass, press it down, and lift it up. Then I added some white, in this case some ink, and I sprayed that picture and let the color flow. The water that I sprayed on top of this paper made the entire medium flow, and I moved that paper into different directions to see what was happening to the painting. Now I will let it dry just a little bit and re-wet it again. I reapplied the glass again to add a little bit more blue, and this is what happened at that time. Now when you use a brush on this paper, you can see how it lifts the color off. You can make a winter scene probably by adding branches like this, but the control isn't really there. The paint does what the paint wants to do. I added a little bit more water. Now I want to show you, if I would to paint in a Maria, an image of a Maria, how that would look. And you can see that it is just about impossible to paint something like that onto a paper. Now you can see that I could not paint this image of Maria on that paper. First of all, it just lifts up the paint, and secondly, it still works. The color still moves around and still works. I could not have created these images that I have on my painting on this paper. Now take a close look on what you see here on this paper and what we have as far as patterns and images. It's still working a little bit here. I'm adding a little bit more of white ink to make it flow, to create some images in order to create a winter scene. A winter scene that I was trying to create that night. using this medium, the blue watercolor and the white ink. And before I start working on my original painting, I just let it lay down and I didn't do anything because at first I wanted to see what was happening on the paper. These images that you can see here, they happened with the flow of the water and with the glass that I pressed onto the paper. You can see all this happened here on its own. At that time of the painting, I was the minister of the arts and environments in our local church. I had been asked in our church to create a scene for Our Lady of Guadalupe. I did not know who the Lady of Guadalupe was because I was born and raised in Germany. For weeks I was thinking and praying about Mary to come up with an idea for a display. Although Mary was on my mind for several weeks, there is no way that I could have created this type of image on this type of paper. Many of my friends told me that Mary appearing on my painting was a miracle. What do you think?